Hello and welcome back to my Operate and YouTube channel on LELB Society. In this session I'm going to teach you Unit 22 of this course, Book 504, Absolutely Essential Words, to improve your vocabulary for the IELTS and TOEFL exam. Let me see. These are some flashcards. Bachelor means an unmarried man, and this is not a flashcard. So editor, the person who is who makes some edition and edits some newspapers, magazines, and so on and so forth. Bewildered is confused, perplexed. Poor means not rich, needy. Lack means emptiness. Journalist, it's clear. Vicinity, proximity, nearness. And essential. Remember, at the bottom of my website you can see a link that I have recently added at the bottom of the site, right above the footer. So if you're interested to practice and to improve your IELTS speaking ability, particularly for example the interview, I have coordinated and organized actually a class that can help you to improve your speaking ability for the IELTS exam. So if you're interested, you can just visit my website at lelb.net, and at the bottom of the site, right above, this is the footer, right above the footer, actually just click on this link or use this widget or application, let's say in the sidebar, and you can just be directed to the page of that free English class, IELTS speaking practice class. And this is free. You know, I just hold a free class on Mondays from 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. according to Iran's standard time. The class is on Skype, so if you're interested you can just join this, and this is free. Okay, so let me see. Alright, so the first word is warden. Warden means keeper, guard, a person in charge of a prison, and the opposite is prisoner. So a warden just keeps an eye on prisoners so that they cannot escape. The warden found himself facing 200 defiant prisoners. So defiant means disobedient, a person who defies. A cautious or wary, W-A-R-Y. Warden always has to anticipate the possibility of an escape, so he should be circumspect, careful, vigilant. Anticipate means expect the possibility or likelihood of an escape. Okay, when the journalists asked to meet with Warden Thomas, he sent word that he was sick. So he didn't perhaps wanted to let's say have that meeting or meet the journalist. So it was an excuse or pretext. He sent the word that he was sick. The second word is acknowledge, means admit to be true. Acknowledge also means appreciate. So this is another meaning. And also it has another meaning. It means, for example, acknowledge the receipt, acknowledge the source. It means to just make it known that you have received something or you have used the source. The experts reluctantly acknowledged that their estimate of food costs was not accurate. Experts, professional, reluctantly or unwillingly admitted that their estimate or calculation or guess of food costs or prices of food was not precise or accurate. So, when you make a mistake, you should eat humble pie. It's an idiom. Eat humble pie. Nobody's perfect, so when you make a mistake, you need to acknowledge that you were wrong. So here the experts, that expert acknowledged that actually he was not, his estimate of food costs was not accurate or precise. Okay. District Attorney Hogan got the man to acknowledge that he had lied in court. District attorney, especially in the United States, actually is a kind of lawyer that is in charge of arresting some criminals and not criminals but convicts who are accused of some crimes and take them to the court for judgments. Okay, acknowledge that he had lied in court. Lie means tell something that is not true. I hate living alone, the bachelor acknowledged. So it was time he got married. Yeah. Number 3, justice. Just conduct. Conduct means behavior. Fair dealing. And the opposite is injustice. Daniel Webster abandoned any hope for justice once he saw the jury. So he just gave up any hope or anticipation for justice or equality or fairness. Also you can say fairness once he saw the juror or the members of the jury. Our pledge to the flag refers to liberty and justice for all. Okay, our tribute or respect to the flag when we just make some promises, it's a kind of ceremony, refers to liberty, freedom and justice for all. Equality. Okay. The warden acknowledged that justice had not been served in my case. So the warden admitted that, or confessed, also you can say. Or make a confession. That I was not treated justly or fairly as a prisoner, perhaps. Delinquent. An offender, criminal, and behind time. So it has 2 basic meanings. A criminal, usually a young criminal, and also something that is delayed or postponed. The youthful delinquent tried to avoid going to jail. The young criminal tried to avoid going to jail or prison. So after avoid, you need to have a gerund. All delinquents are banned from the student council at the school. Are prohibited, forbidden, from the student council at the school. Student council means a student government. What does that mean? It means a group of people who are representative of other students at a school, just organizing some activities, student activities, so particularly in high school. If you are delinquent in paying your debts, you will be dropped from membership in the club. So if you're delinquent here means if you are inactive, if you're not responsive enough, if you just pay your debts with a delay, you will be dropped from, you will be set aside, and your membership will be dismissed, or you will be disqualified to prolong your membership in the club. Reject means refuse to take, I'm sorry for my incorrect pronunciation, refuse to take, use, believe, consider, grant, etc. Okay, Sylvester didn't try to evade the draft because he knew that the doctors would reject him once they saw the x-rays of his back. So remember, draft means conscription here. Conscription. Yeah, means draft. What is conscription? It's a let's say invitation to join the military service. Particularly the young are conscribed. It means that they are invited to attend military service. So he knew that he was exempted. It means freed and not included in the military service because of actually his special conditions, and could be, let's say, indicated through those X-rays, yes, of his back. So yes, it's clear. The reform bill was unanimously rejected by Congress. So it refers to the Senates in a Congress in the US. So the reform law, of course it has not been law yet. A bill should be accepted by the majority of Senates in the Congress to be transformed into a law. So unanimously means with one voice, means identically, and all the members just accepted it. When his promotion was rejected by the newspaper owner, the editor was thoroughly bewildered. So the editor was completely bewildered and perplexed because the newspaper owner did not accept, or did not just authorize his let's say promotion, did not promote him. Okay, let me drink some water. Deprive. Deprivation is the noun. Take away from by force. The poor man was deprived of a variety of things that money could buy. Yes, money talks. And money does not grow on trees. So the poor man, also you can say deprived person, was deprived of a variety or different things that money could just buy. We were deprived of a good harvest because of a lack of rain. Perhaps actually the subject must be farmers. Okay, so we could not reap, REAP, good crops and fruits, because it was almost because of famine or drought. Let me write them. Drought is better. It means lack of water. Lack of water. Living in a rural area, Bestie was deprived of concerts and plays. So it's clear, when you cannot have your cake and eat it too, you cannot have two advantages at the same time. Living in the country, rural area, as opposed to urban areas, it's clear that you can enjoy the beauty of nature and you're close to nature, but you cannot, for example, have some social events such as concerts. Okay. Spouse, husband or wife. Clear. When a husband prospers in his business, his spouse benefits also. So when a husband prosper means to have prosperity, particularly to make a lot of money, make a fortune, and to be successful financially. In his business, his spouse, that is his wife, benefits too. Clear. The woman and her spouse relieved each other throughout the night at their child's bedside. Okay, good for them. So, I don't need to interpret that. Okay. May I bring my spouse to the office party? Dorinda asked. So, shall I bring my spouse to the office party? Office party is a kind of party usually before Christmas, and the workers and personnel of an office actually celebrate their togetherness. Vocation, occupation, business, profession, trade. Rod Smith's vocation was a journalist for the Times. So Red Smith's. So his profession or career was a journalist at the let's say Times magazine, such a very prestigious magazine and prominent. One should try to pick an appropriate vocation that is appropriate for him or her. One refers to anybody, which means you, for example, in the most general sense. To pick, to choose, select a proper vocation or proper that is again actually suitable for them. If you are uneasy in your vocation, you can never be happy. If you are nervous, if you are not satisfied with your profession and career, you cannot be a happy person. And that is true. Unstable, not firmly fixed, easily moved or overthrown, means not steady. Unsteady also you can say. Okay. An unstable person will panic when he or she is in trouble. So because of the fact that actually the person does not have enough firmness and stability, that person will panic, will be terrified, and let's say uneasy in the face of problem. It's clear. I couldn't detect that drinking glass was unstable and about to fall. I could detect that. Sorry, I said I couldn't. I could detect that. I could notice that. I could construe and understand that that glass was unstable and it was wobbling, and it was about to fall. So it was likely to fall down. Kathy's balance became unstable because she was very weary. So she was exhausted, she was fatigued, and so tired, physically tired, and because of that actually she was not in a state of balance. Her balance was, let's say, so weak. Okay, she was about to, for example, pass out, to faint. Homicide, a killing of one human being by another, or murder. This is homicide, and this is genocide. You know, side in Latin means killing. That's why we have suicide. Means killing oneself. So homo means murder, means human, means, so it means killing a human. Geno means generation, it means killing a group of people. So it is really bitter. And suicide means killing oneself. So killing of one human, murder. Okay. The police were baffled as to who was responsible for the homicide. So the police couldn't understand who was behind that homicide. Okay, it took a crafty man or person to get away with that homicide. So a person must be really skillful and smart, intelligent to escape and let's say run away from and get away from that murder. News of the homicide quickly circulated through our vicinity. So it was spread quickly and circulated. News from that murder was spread, pass on. Also for news we say pass on, through our vicinity, in the neighborhood and proximity, nearness, vicinity. Penalize, declare punishment by law or rule, set a penalty for. So penalize is the verb form of penalty, retribution. The Detroit Lions were penalized 15 yards for their rough play. Rough means tough, means unfair play. So they received that retribution or punishment actually, and that their punishment was that 15 yards. We were penalized for not following tradition. So we were rather defiant or maverick, and therefore we were, let's say, punished. We were penalized. Mrs. Robbins penalized us for doing the math problem in ink. As the math teacher, she penalized and punished us or criticized us for doing the math problem, solving the math problem in ink instead of, for example, with a pencil. So they just did it with, let's pay attention to this, with a pen or with a pencil, because it refers to an instrument or tool, but ink is not a tool, you know, it's not a very clear-cut tool. So that's why it is in. Beneficiary, a person who receives benefit. Ear, let me write it down. Pay attention, H is not pronounced, it's Latin based, and because of that, like honest, like our. I was the beneficiary of $8 million when my grandfather died or passed away as an inheritance. or legacy is the amount of money that you receive after the death of a person. When the paintings were sold, the millionaire's niece was the beneficiary. So niece means the, let's say, our daughter of a brother or sister. Then the opposite is nephew. Okay. So when the paintings were sold, the millionaire's niece was the beneficiary, or actually she received all the money. My brother was the beneficiary of excellent advice from his guidance counselor or consultant. So here there is nothing materialistic about it. It is somehow spiritual or inspirational. And okay, thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this, and take care, and bye bye.